In this video, we're going to take a look at how to manage your open items in the Slack desktop application as well as in the mobile app. So now that you're managing projects and tasks in Slack, where do you go to find what's assigned to you and know when it's due? In this video, we're going to take a look at how to manage your projects and tasks once you've built that out and have assigned a bunch of items to yourself or to your teammates. Let's dive right in and take a look. You can see on my screen that I've got all lists selected. If you didn't know how to get to all lists, you can check out my video where I do a whole walkthrough about canvases and lists. You might be surprised to find out that Slack actually provides a really handy way to track projects. As a quick reminder, if you click the More button within Slack and you click the navigation bar, you can choose lists and canvases to quickly show those in your menu bar. If you still don't see those, you can hit the plus sign and click list or canvas to see those views. Going back to the list view, I can quickly access my content tracker and other projects that I'm working on. In the previous video here on my YouTube channel, I focused on Benjamin's content tracker, so let's open that one up. Before I dive into how to locate your tasks and find out what's assigned to you and see all of that in one view, I want to show you a few quick tips. Let's say, for example, I wanted to see the notes associated with this project. As you can see right now, there are no notes listed in the rows. If you look here, you'll see I have one object hidden, and this eyelash right here indicates that there's a hidden field. So if I click that, I can see my topic notes again. How that happened was I clicked the drop down and I hid the field. So I'm going to unhide that so that you can see it again. Notice how the notes are expanded out. So if I look at test 1, you can see this is an example of a longer note with a lot of text, and then there's bullet items. If I didn't want to see all of that text, I can uncheck wrap field, and then it hides that view from me. So I would have to click the note to see it, or if I click the open item button, I can see the full note listed out that way if it's a longer note. But if you wanted to see it in this particular view, you can just click topic notes and then wrap the field to show everything written out. And you can even grab these bars and drag that around so that it fits all into one screen a little easier. Now, if I switch the view, let's say I go to board view, I would have to change the view that I want to see. So right now I'm seeing everything that's either completed or still open. So if I go to status, for example, then I can see everything that's in progress, not started, done, blocked, canceled, backlog, etc. If I want to see the date, I can easily group by due date and then see what the dates are associated with the various tasks. And these two cards here are the only two that have an active date assigned to them. If I want to see everything that I have due, notice this button here called Assigned to You. That's where you can see all of the tasks across all the different projects you're a part of and when those are due. So right now I have all items checked. I could also see all open items. And if I wanted to see the completed items, I can click that tab and there you go. So under all items, notice that I can change the drop down, and that'll tell me everything that's due coming up soon. And this is ascending order, meaning it's most recent due to the farthest out due date, all the way out to June 4 in my case. So if I switch this to recently updated, it's not incremental necessarily, but it's the last task that was updated. So what I would normally do is I would choose open items and then go to due date to look at that information. You can also do this from the project view by creating a custom filter. So let's jump over to Benjamin's content tracker, and I'm going to reset the view and just get back to my default view here. So what I'm going to do is filter by due date, and I'm going to say everything that's due today. So nothing is due today. What was due last week? Okay, I have 2 items, and then within those items, I've got 2 subtasks. I can see here that I've completed the subtasks and that this due date was 5/13. And I have it listed in progress. So I went ahead and finished that one, so I can mark that done. So if I refresh, you'll see that that still shows up in the due date for next week. So I'm going to show you something that's important. So if I go to next week again, even though my status is done, you still see the topic here and the date is red. So what I want to do in this case is actually complete the task. So now if I clear that filter and I add it back in to say sort by due date, If I choose last week, you'll see that the task is no longer red because I marked the object complete. Now it's got a line through it and it's not urgent, meaning it doesn't show that I didn't complete the task, in other words. So this is a completed task. If I go back to assigned to you and I click completed items, you'll see that task, film screen, is now complete. This is all relevant because if I go to Benjamin's content tracker and I clear all of this information out, let's say I want to export this to a CSV, and then somebody could import that either into a report or another project tracking mechanism that will read that CSV data. So I want to make sure that all of my items are complete. Also, just from a tracking perspective, it's always important to mark that stuff complete when you're done with it, of course. And here's why. Let's say you want to take this project and send an update to either a channel, an individual, like your manager, for example, or colleagues even. So if I click workflows, you'll see a bunch of really cool workflows that are super easy to set up right out of the box. Let's create one for due date notifications for assignees. I'm the only assignee in this case, but every Monday at 9 a.m., I can send a due date notification to myself. So on Monday at 9 a.m., I want to see that an activity notification will go to Benjamin based on the content tracker and let me know that any item that is not complete, that is overdue, because the time is in the past, then I'll know to go back and set that stuff up. So let's go ahead and finish that up. So every Monday, I'll get a notification for any task that is overdue. So now that I have a workflow that's going to run every Monday and let me know if I have any past due notifications, let's say I want to make changes to it, or let's say I want to make that workflow easier for me to identify, especially when I have several workflows set up. Check this out. If I go to the More option in my desktop application and click Automations, you can see Managed by You. The due date notifications is the one I just set up. So let's edit that. If I click due date notifications and say Benjamin's overdue tasks, that will be a lot easier for me to identify. And I can even upload an image. So now that I have my workflow published, let's go ahead and run that so that you can see what it looks like when it comes through on Slack. So I'm going to edit this workflow and I'm going to change the date to today just so that we can see it run. So it's going to be today, the 19th at 3:37 p.m., which is in 1 minute. I'm going to save that, make sure that's published, and when the clock hits 3:37 p.m., this automation will run and it'll tell me that I have an overdue task. As you can see in my activity bar that I have a reminder for Benjamin's content tracker to complete this overdue item. I can mark it complete, I can add a comment, I can add a subtask, I could go to the list and find out what is going on with that task, and if I complete that, then I'm done, and there you go. If you go back to assigned to you in the list view, if I go to open items, you can see that even if an item isn't assigned to a date, that I'll still see that it's open. So this is another great way to see all of your projects in one place. Even if they don't have a due date assigned to them, you can still quickly locate those. But what about on the mobile phone? If I open Slack and just click the home button, this is what it looks like. And from here, I can click the More button on the bottom right of the app and go to assigned to you. And look at that, it's the same view as I'm seeing in the desktop app. And if I click open items, you can see everything that's open. And if I go to all, I can see recently assigned, but I can also switch that to due date. I can scroll through and click a task and see the information about that task. I can see that this one's completed. I can make that not complete, or I can go ahead and complete that again. And this is a quick way for you to see all of your open items from your mobile phone within Slack. So the nice thing about this is even if my phone is locked, you'll see that the Slack bot has notified me that I have an open task available. And then this is just a recap of my to-dos. So you can kind of see how I've got those listed out. And then I can click completed items and still see everything that I've marked complete. And then going back to the More tab, I can go ahead and click lists and see all of my projects from my mobile device and stay up to date on things that are assigned to me so I don't lose track of my work. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe and keep an eye out for more productivity tips coming your way soon. Thanks and have a great day.